Good day, our dear guests, the guests of our broadcast and the meeting. I would like you to switch to your language channel.
Good day to all. To hear the translation, you need to click on the globe or on the three dots if you are logging in from a phone. Then select your language. Уважаемые друзья, пожалуйста, переходите в свои языковые каналы. The instruction to get the translation is in the chat. You can find the instruction on your language in our chat. И я надеюсь, что все нашли
I hope that everybody has found how to switch on the interpretation. These meetings are multilingual, multinational, the planetary scale meetings. We are meeting to discuss the important things, how to take care of our planet, how we can do it on our own, how we can do it together, how to support each other. To do that, we find new ways and, of course, recall the old ones. My name is Daria Akhverdiant. I'm the leader, main coordinator of the EcoPulse project. And right now I'm going to switch on the presentation. I hope that I will manage to do it with no extra effort. And we are going to find out why we came here together. I can see that the amount of people is increasing, and this is a good news. I hope that you can see the screen, you can hear me. If you manage to prove that everything is working, I would really appreciate it. I cannot see the chat, I can see the words in the screen, basically the reason for us meeting today. And we would like to discuss how else to help the nature. Why else? Because the previous meetings were dedicated to technologies of organizing the cleanings of the natural territories, basically removing the garbage from where it shouldn't be. Forests, oceans, seas, lakes, etc., restoring the primordial natural conditions. But once again, the nature is different all across the globe, and the summer is very hot in many locations. That is why it is physically hard to go out and remove some garbage in some locations. And of course, we would all like to do something useful. To find out what the other formats of the eco events and campaigns could there be, we came together and we invited a wonderful expert. Together with you is the team of EcoPulse, economic, non-economic, eco-friendly project. Together with us is Nuria Inyutsina, our coordinator. I'm Daria Akhverdiant, the leader of EcoPulse. So basically, Nuria is supervising to make sure that all the coordinators would receive the organizational support and basically all the information, etc. To host such meetings as this one, on time. We have Artur, our community manager. I think that you know him best because you meet him most of the time in our regional chats, in our planetary chat. So basically, if you have any ideas, if you have questions, if you have suggestions to any of us, you could contact us through our social media or chats, ask questions, make suggestions, and we will make sure that your conditions of life and our conditions of life on this planet improve. Who else has joined the EcoPulse team in this chat? Please put plus in the chat. I can see the regional coordinators from different countries. So is everything okay technically, dear colleagues? Is everything working? So we have coordinators from different countries, and please write something in the chat. We would like to welcome you because you are participants of our events, campaigns. You are organizing those cleaning campaigns and other campaigns. You are participating very actively in them. So please put pluses in the chat there. I can see Senegal, Kyrgyzstan, Venezuela, Kazan. Good. I'm really glad to see you all here. I hope that we will have even more pluses in this chat. Okay, let's move on. EcoPulse is online. I'm going to reiterate it once again that our non-commercial project has a huge mission. We are here to create the international community of people who consider ecology a part of everything. Professional activities, their groceries, their work, their business, etc. And each of our actions, daily actions, has to go through a filter of what it will give to our planet, what our actions are going to do to the planet and our surroundings. We definitely have a goal. We would like to create conditions to implement this ecological activity for each member of our community. So basically to implement the ecological responsibility through various actions, activities, content, etc. These could be the volunteership activities, participation in different events, the real leadership when you feel the strength and the desire to lead the people, to have large systemic projects. We already have such leaders in different regions. With them, we discuss different campaigns, artistic, ecological and environmental campaigns, etc. And we will speak about them in more details later. But once again, you are following us on our social media and you know some information about it. How do we do it? We know that across the globe we have initiative teams working. Among them are great experts. They are changing the world for the better. They already have harnessed great activities and great practices. If you are a volunteer, if you are an activist, if you're a leader, if you're an entrepreneur, you know those practices. We accumulate those practices from one region and of course we relay them to the others to solve global problems. Our project is year old, but we already have some achievements, something to be proud about. We already did something together with you. We cleaned a mountain in Kyrgyzstan. There were some graffiti there. We planted trees in the regions which required it. We had various events, the volunteership meetings of activists, various eco lessons, lectures. Oh, eco lessons are for the children, eco lectures are for the adults. We had a wonderful meeting with youth in Ghana. We spoke of environmental problems in the region, how to solve them. We demonstrated the great examples from across the globe, how people are solving those problems in those regions. And one of the most vivid events that we managed to implement together with you was the Global Day of Cleanliness, June the 8th. We went to a large cleaning campaign all across the globe. We cleaned the garbage, we sent it where it should belong, leaving the nature as beautiful as it should be, for it to make us all happy. This was a very impressive experience indeed. That is why we as a team and the community decided to scale it up. So here we have the Global Cleanup Challenge. This is something we launched a little bit more than a month ago. It has started and it will last until the mid-September. Many countries have already joined this campaign. If you hear about it for the first time, I hope that you are going to participate too, because this is a wonderful project, a wonderful activity, and everybody feels that you are doing your own useful, you are playing your useful part. You are a part of a larger community which unites people from different countries. If you are in Moscow, if you understand that your friend is also an activist who is concerned about the problems in Ghana, in Venezuela, in Vietnam, and they do something good, so you should invite them. We launched this challenge on June 21st. It will finish on September the 20th. So this is basically to make sure that we accomplish the plan of activities until the end of the period. So where are these events held? Where you hold them. Basically, you are organizers of this event. We are only supervising, we are helping, we create statistical tables to see the results, to make sure that we see who is more active, who is conducting events, who is involving people, who is writing wonderful texts, etc. So these are the tasks of our challenge. By performing them, you get points. We give you these points, and at the end, the most active participants will get their presents. The finals will be held in September, where the main prize is going to be drawn. This is going to be a gadget. I'm not going to tell you what the gadget is. So what we did already, we held dozens of events for hundreds of people. They came to your cleanup days and basically contributed to improve the life conditions in your hometowns. We cleaned kilometers of natural land. We had artistic and creative events, lectures, we planted trees, we had a broadcast with a blogger expert, a very inspiring person, this Chisto man, the cleaning up man. So you can join our chats to rewatch this broadcast in the recording. So how do you become a part of this movement? Please fill in the survey. You can see the QR code, and our colleagues will add this link to the chat as well. So after you register, you tell about yourself. In short, you will get instructions what to start with, what to do, and basically the only thing left is to act. What challenges do we offer? It's both clean up, it's the global challenge. Basically, first of all, we're talking about cleaning the garbage in nature. So you pick the locations which need your care and you take care of it. But you can also help us to gather information about various local environmental organizations and help us unite with them. You can disseminate information, create content, write posts, do reposts, make pictures beautiful and wonderful. There are such tasks as well. You have to participate in our broadcasts with the experts to become more environmentally aware, to improve your skills in organizing the environmental events, to invite others, to inspire other participants to do good green things. You need to host an event of other formats. So these will be the events we will be discussing today. So basically, these are not the events in the street. These are the events which can be done inside. I would like to highlight that if you join the challenge after this event, you will receive points for participation and you will get bonus points for entering the challenge right in the middle. What prizes will there be? Merchandise of the EcoPulse project, useful gifts, and of course the secret box with the main prize. So once again, you should participate in podcasts, in broadcasts. This is a part of the challenge because you have to be more aware. You have to know more. You have to figure out what we are doing it for. We are talking about meeting the real activists who have been solving the environmental problems for many years. They inspire us, they teach us. That is why we invited one of such experts to discuss important matters with you. And I would like to introduce Anastasia Perevoznikova to you. This is a wonderful and awesome expert who has been training in Russia, but now she's hosting events all across the globe and she can share her experience. I'm not going to mention all of her ranks and all of her achievements. I have seen her across the best environmental platforms. I think she will deliver the main things herself. And I give her the floor, and I wish that you be as attentive as possible and ask questions.
Hello, dear colleagues, dear participants. Can you hear me all right? Can you see me all right? Is everything all right with connection? Daria, let me know, please. Well, we can see you, we can hear you, and it's a pleasure to look at you. Now our colleagues will start the presentation. So great. Then I will continue being absolutely sure. Thank you, dear participants. I see so many people have joined us today. And thank you, dear organizers, who make it possible for us to discuss such important things. And today I would like to share my experience of arrangement ecological events. That is an interesting, unique and life experience, which is also fresh. And I'm going to tell you about the project that I have arranged in Vietnam. Hi, Vietnam, if somebody from Vietnam is here with us today. And also I would like to share life hack arrangement of volunteer ecological projects. These are clubs. These are some activities like quizzes and charity activities. If you have any experience or questions, you will be able to ask those at the end of my presentation. So do not forget your questions or write to the chat and we'll try to get back to them. And now we start to discuss what kind of event it is, and we continue. An event is a very interesting tool for any community manager, for any organizers of a community. Next slide, please. And it's important for us to understand that an event is a form of group activity which is directed at achieving specific goals. They can be different, like education of our participants or engagement of those into some project, into some ideas. Or we just entertain, we get together to have a good time, or our task is to get together, be a good team, or maybe we need to be transformed through some joint experience and joint impressions, and after the event to become an absolutely new person. The most important thing to know about the events is their essence. That means to get together and perform some joint action which unites us and which gives a strong result from this kind of format of an event. Next slide, please. So let us get acquainted and let's say frankly, who has already arranged some events, who has already faced some problems, because as soon as we decide to do this, maybe as soon as you decide to arrange something, we can start doing it and face the following results. We arrange an event and there is nobody coming. So who ever faced this? I will read out what kind of difficulties and situations can be, and give me the figure in the chat. Give me the number, what you have faced in your practice. Some equipment broke down, the speaker never came, or you invested a lot of resources, you actively arranged it, you have invited people, sent announcements, but people came, but the effect that you expected and the result are not there. Or there can be fear of assessment, what people can think, and you are trying to arrange it, but you never had the courage to do so. Please see what kind of difficulties we can face. I see 6. So there was no ability to do proper promotion. That often happens because once you are a promoter and an organizer as well as the speaker, you also arrange masterclass. It's very hard to cover. I see number 3 as well. Not enough. A lot of time was invested, but there was no feedback. And what other figures are there? So great, dear friends, great. We have answers, and it proves that you are already experienced people who tried something, who did something already, who got their experience. I believe there is also positive experience, regardless of the fact that some results did not appeal to you. And we continue. Which are the ways we can avoid having these kind of problems? But before we start arranging an event, we ask ourselves a question. Do we need this event? Do we need this promotion with all these difficulties? Something can go wrong. And at any event, something goes wrong. You only have to accept this. People can fail to come. We can feel, a kind of devastated after the results of this activity. And why should we do this? Here we should clearly understand motivation. I would like to introduce a concept to you. You could see it in a book by Stephen Covey, 7 Skills of High Efficiency People, or in some other books. What is it all about? We have to remember that we have 2 circles. The circle of influence, our influence, what we can do, right here and right now, what we can change, some actions we perform, our habits, our views, our projects, the way what we say and how we say something. And there is a circle of concerns. What bothers us? Different global problems, ecological problems, behavior of other people, governmental actions, something we want to influence, but we cannot. And what is the secret? Once we focus on the circle of concerns, what we are anxious about and what we cannot influence right here and right now, we lose energy. We lose energy energy quickly, we burn out, we feel helpless, unnecessary, like a drop in the sea. But once we get focused on the circle of influence, we accumulate energy, we do what we should do, we do not burn out, do our thing for a long time. This accumulated energy can be shared with the rest of the world. You can arrange an event, launch a project, arrange some socially important organization, some socially important program can be launched. We have a lot of power to do something which will really change the society from inside. Thus, arrangement of event is our tool with which we, from the circle of influence, go to the circle of concern, and thus we expand the circle of our influence, changing the world around us. Let's move on. Why are we doing this at all? Seriously, what for? We could just go to work, take care about our family and friends, and that's it. Happy life is here. Nevertheless, there are some reasons for which we promote ecological values, arrange ecological projects or social projects, do volunteering, do charity. And there is a set of research which explains why people do charity and volunteering. I will explain 4 main reasons to you, and I think they describe the whole set of emotions quite completely. The motivation that is inside us and which motivates us to do some actions which is socially important. Number one is pragmatism. That is elementary pragmatism. Something didn't work. I knew how to repair it. I have repaired, and now it's working. When we see a problem, we know for sure how this problem can be recovered. We resolve this problem, and there is no moral issue here or no great impacts or senses. Everything is very logic and practical. Another reason is pleasure, feeling that you are a good and responsible person, that you are very much aware of what is happening in the world and you are doing something important. It's a very needed emotion without which no project can promote. Then social approval, meaning how we want to look in the eyes of other people, our social capital, and possibly if your project attracts a lot of attention, well, all this is also the reason we practice volunteering. And then altruism. I left it the last because this is a very interesting reason. What is altruism in the language of science? It's a neurobiological impulse inside of our mind which motivates us to help other people, and through cooperation and mutual help in the society, it helps you to feel more secure. Altruism is it's not that you should give everything you have to some poor people, but that is about the point that we live in a more well-being community when we get together and help each other. So let's continue. Now we realized why we are doing this, and now a question how we are doing this, how to do this in order not to face all the problems we saw at the previous slide. A few important details about arrangement of this event. It's important to make an announcement. Number one, every event starts with an announcement, and it should be written on high quality. It should be visually beautiful. It should be visible. Its idea is to be visible for people to pay attention to this with the date, time, location, and what is going to happen and why people should come, why it is going to be interesting for the audience, what is expecting them, and what they are going to get as a result when they come to your event. Then an important thing. You should start announcement 2 weeks prior. 2 weeks prior, dear friends. The very first announcement, so that people would have enough time to plan their schedule for you to fit their window of attention. 2 weeks is minimum. And remind them that you have event within these 2 weeks, at least to remind twice. You can do it in different formats. Keep on talking about your partners, and here you talk about gifts or some activities that people are going to have at this event, and you invite people to come to this event. Personal invitation, sometimes it's really required when you have some guests who you really want to see at your events at that day. It's also important to think about the team. That is the story when there was not enough strength for promotion, at least 2 people. One is responsible for organization, the other one for promotion. More stable team, which helps you to, well, to do it not so easy, but at least easier to implement what you have decided. And pronouncement of announcement, collaboration, that is a great life hack. We cannot do anything without collaboration. Collaboration is the basis of big, beautiful, interesting events, and we will see the examples of this kind of collaboration. The last thing I would like to mention now, our illusions. Our illusions should be diluted, and we should clearly understand that at every stage of seeing our announcement and us as ecological leader or ecological project, people will get off. First, you make an announcement. Some people saw that, and let us say that you have 10,000 subscribers, but the announcement was seen by 5 or 7,000. Then these potential guests get registered here. We see half getting off. Then they came to the event, and here it can happen so that 70% of your registrations will get off. So people can choose something else to do, or they can simply forget about the event. Anything can happen, and they will not be at your event. And as to those who are actively listening and participating into the process, there is even less. So at every stage, we have around 70% being lost, and don't be afraid of this. Remember this and work in this condition. Do not consider that this is your fault, and don't think that it makes your project less valuable. Let's continue and let's see what is important for us. Which questions should be answered before the event? There are 5 questions. We will answer each of the questions one by one. Number 1, who is this event for? That is about your target audience. Number 2, what for are we doing this event? What is the purpose? We choose the purpose. Question number 3, who are we and which resources do we have? We should think about it. What we are capable of doing now, and what will bring us most of pleasure? Which ecological project? Number 4, we choose the format which is suitable for us, judging by our peculiarities and resources. And number 5, we identify what we expect from this event. Let's continue. Question number 1. Question number 1 about our target audience. The target audience we arrange the event for. Then target audience, well, it sounds quite scary. Let's call it a different way. Our colleagues or our neighbors or our friends, maybe these are our clients and partners, maybe these are our subscribers who are interested in following us. Target audience can be absolutely different, and for every event there should be some peculiarities. The best situation ever is when people came to you and they say, it would be great if there was a cleanup, or if we arranged some meeting, or if we collect some things for charity. People can think about this, and you react to this and you say, yes, I will initiate and I will implement implement this idea. Let's do it. So Connect is here. If your situation is different, just talk with people. Ask them what they are interested in, which events they are already visiting, what do they think about environmental agenda, how do they have rest, or what is important for them in the process of training if you have some serious training that you plan. All this is formulated as question. You can ask those through poll or questionnaire, through voting. You have an idea of event and you already started voting. It's like announcement number 0. People will know what it is about, that something is going on, and there are more chances that you will get into their window of attention. Now we discussed the target audience. Let's continue. We understand what people need, the people we do it for, what is their schedule when they have free time, and why they come for these events. Now we are thinking about the goal. What do we want to do with these people? We want to talk about some important goal or initiative. We want to spend some time with them, get together, or talk about environmental issues. Or do we want to arrange some serious event after which there will be resolution to some ecological or environmental problem next to us? It depends on your situation. I would recommend 2 things. Number 1, some practical goal, like social task, social impact, social task about the use this event will bring people. And the second part of this goal is related to your pleasure. What you will get from this event. Maybe you will meet interesting people. Maybe you will practice your leadership skills. All these should be formulated for yourself so that then you will reach this result. Then question number 3. In question number 3, we need to think who we are and what resources do we have. You see, we're all different people. We are different, and there are no people who are more capable of arranging an event or less. We are different, and different formats suit different people. For instance, we have 3 random people. Anna as a designer, she doesn't like a lot of people. She doesn't like to be in the center of attention. She values her comfort and she values working in a small team or alone. Pasha, analyst, is very pragmatic, structurized. It's easy for him to bring people together and he likes to share his knowledge. And Lena is a teacher. She already has her small women community. She is active. She regularly visits different events and she values contact with people. And all these people will some people will receive more pleasure from this event and somebody will get less. And now you have to choose who you are, Anya, Pasha, or Lena, 1, 2, or 3. And I wonder who is here, who we are here, who we have here, and who is in the majority. Answer to the chat, give us the 1, 2, or 3 figure, and we move on to the next question. Which format is suitable for us? Now it's time to choose the format. Here, everything is important. Your inspiration, what you saw, what you liked, what is interesting for you to be implemented as to your portfolio, what would be most suitable event in condition of a social or technological problems that you are resolving. You should bring this into one part, and I suggest to divide it into 3 parts. Number 1 is entertainment parties, promotions, movie discussions, swap, free market, master classes, quests, exhibitions, and everything. All this helps with the new impressions, to get new impressions and to create to the people an environment where there is an entertaining atmosphere and people get impressions together. Then intellectual games, trainings, quizzes, table games, public talks, discussions, disputes, brainstorms, the formats which require concentration, attention, focus, dialogue with people, some business format of events. All this is related to there. And information is something which does not require to collect a crowd, to gather a crowd. mode, which doesn't require to arrange some venue to provide food and everything. We can just arrange the environment we live in. We can arrange social ad or information campaign. We can launch challenge, flash mob, or just messaging to our target audience. So we have chosen a format. Now let's see which are the most interesting formats that we have for discussion today. There will be like 3 of them. We move on to them. The first format I'm going to tell you about is swaps. Swaps, exchange, sharings. I told you that I have a great experience on arrangement of swap in Vietnam. And what is the conclusion? It's kind of a generalization. I need most of your attention to tell you which are options for the swaps. Number one, which is our joint action, exchange of things. This is the heart of an event, and around that, everything else is arranged. People come first and foremost to get rid of their unnecessary things and get new things. That is especially important in the situation if where you live there is no solution for the old stuff. You cannot give those for charity, for processing, and the only opportunity to prolong their life to sell those or to exchange those things. Which are the advantages of this format for the event? These are universal, they are efficient, they demonstrate how we can save and secure resources. And you can understand that you can exchange freely. Why not? You will always have more things, and it cannot never happen that people will take all the stuff. Sometimes there will always be some stuff, and our task is to reduce the quantity so that people would think most of the things. So sometimes it's better to arrange it in free format upon your desire, so that anyone would take as much as they want. If there are some limitations, we can use like tokens. I arrive to the event, I have 5 things, I got 5 tokens, and with these 5 tokens, I can take 5 things with me. Or it can be an auction. And there is a beautiful retro thing which I sell for big money, for big contribution, because that is in demand, or people exchange just for some fees. I come, I give some, I pay some fees, I participated in the events, I take something for myself, or I do not take anything and go home. It's up to you to choose the format for your situation. If there are not many people, you do not have to bother with mechanics and make people feel free in exchange. Swaps can be of totally different thing. Well, it depends on your fantasy. It can be about clothes, about something creative, things when we exchange clothes, or creative when we exchange things for creativity, or green when we exchange plants, or child's toys, different interior objects, or books, book crossing. It is also related to things. Also, a swap when we exchange items for pets. So here it is all about your fantasy. Everything can be combined. It does not disturb anything. Consider your venue. Do you have enough space to exchange things, or you can just exchange the objects of interior, which will be less, or only plants, because you do not know where to give the items, and you know where to locate the plants if nobody takes them. And this format will be more suitable for you. Required quantity and situation. The most important thing in the end, what it will happen to these things which will stay aside. Shall they be sent for charity, or shall they be stored till the next event, or you will distribute them in some other ways? Prepare clear-cut instruction in all the announcement at all the stage, what can be brought and what cannot be brought, that these should be in good condition, those that you can share with other people, and other details, and keep track of the cleanness and aesthetics in the sharing zone, because because when people are searching for something, there is chaos. You will have to arrange it possibly. Maybe you will need rails for the clothing items, or you can do it yourselves. Use some branches attached to the ceiling so that you would be able to hang the clothes on the hanger. So, and as to technical stuff, the most important thing is to have these rails. And in Vietnam, for instance, we have managed with the ropes which we use for washed clothes, and we exchanged our items of clothes without any special rails for clothing. So that is an issue of your being creative and your fantasy. So let us see specifically how our swap was developing, how it started, and what it arrived at. We've made this project, and it is still living in the city of Da Nang in Vietnam. And that is an initiative of people who came to Vietnam, somebody for 1 month, somebody for 1 year, somebody for the rest of their life. And their task is, as in Da Nang, there is no opportunity to do something with the items, to give them for charity or for processing. We wanted to create such a platform where people can get acquainted, discuss the things, and exchange the items, because we have nowhere to send these things. The first event took place in the dance studio. I have rented it for 1 hour, and there were 10 people. I do not have the pictures, but that is a truly beautiful event for girls. And with these people, with two of them, we continued developing this project. At the first event, we've got a team together who are really interested in doing something special for the city. And the second event was at home, at the villa of one of the volunteers. Our volunteer provided us the space to arrange the venue. She had a place for sports, for lectures, for market, and there was a room for children. And of course, we were happy to use this opportunity. And there were 30 people and 6 partners, speakers, those who made trainings and stretchings for guests, and those who entertained the children and guests. Number 3, that was a creative swap. We got together with the creative co-working and with the dance studio. They have prepared a concert, and there were some sketches. There was painting and drawing. There were movie watching in a beautiful space, with the help of which we brought together 60 people and 8 partners. So what was the result? Which figure we reached? Another event is the format of festival. We made a true Eco Fest where we assembled more than 100 people. There were a lot of partners, a lot of master classes. And from this time on, we can say that we have established a place where people come to communicate, networking, discuss environmental agenda, to land it in their project somehow and to develop it properly. And we have already managed to create an ecological community of people which stably visits this format of event. And the last event that we had this year, also in June, and next one will be in August. And we have assembled more than 100 people at the same place, and there were partners as well. And I'm going to tell you about these 2 events. Can you imagine the expenses for the rent? We made the paid entrance, like very small fee, and we managed to pay for the rent. There were some expenses on these events, but they were not like we lost something. We didn't have damages, but we made a paid-based entrance. So if you are sure, do not hesitate to make a free paid-based entrance. If you have to pay for something, we move on. If you have any questions about swaps, please feel free to ask. You have something to share, and we will get back to this and we'll discuss what is interesting for you. The next format is kind of intellectual games, very popular quizzes or table games. What is important for us here? The joint action, joint active thinking process, search for answers and solutions. A quiz is the format where we ask questions to people, people respond to that, and we give them some awards if they answered questions correctly. That is why in a quiz it is important to think about prizes to participants, at least some small prizes. And also we divide people in teams. We have several rounds. So for these quizzes, we choose questions for the quiz and we make a round for captains, for instance. And thus we have a very interesting event where people are deeply engaged and people have to think about this and get acquainted, interact with the team, and there is networking, and again, a very good format. And what is important to consider? We need a scenario, we need to explain the rules, think about the rounds and count the results, and create friendly atmosphere so that it wouldn't look like competition and allow to participants to get acquainted.
We need to think about the amount of rounds in one
Vous êtes
play.
dans le canal russe. Я вас слышу.
So we can continue, right? We had some technicality here, I guess. Okay, let us continue then. So what's important to mention here? We have questions in the round. So maybe these could be some interesting topics, or maybe you have some experts to find the questions for our quiz. You take those questions, so one answer takes 30 to 90 seconds. Usually it's that sufficient, and the points are given from 1 to 3, depending on the mechanics. Speaking of the mechanics, there could be multiple answers. You have this question, you have options. Some of the answers are right. These could be the open questions when you need to formulate an answer yourself. This could be truth or lie. This is truth and this is lie, etc. And this is the way to put those questions. People answer it. Maybe there could be a photo hint. Our question could be linked to some photo or some puzzle, or this could be an audio hint or a piece of audio file, etc. You could have various rounds, and each round can have its own mechanics. In some cases it would be the pictures, in some cases it would be open questions. This is up to you. Your creativity and your art is the way you do it. So how can such a quiz look as beautiful as it should be? And how do you make the first steps? Where do you find the questions? We have the questions, so can we switch back? Yes, we have ready-made questions. So, and there are also various platforms where quizzes take place. So here we're talking about the UNDP, the climate quiz, ecology from ECA, quiz please from the National Project Ecology, ecological from Friends of the Surrounding World. All of these projects are online and you can see how the mechanics is organized. These are the examples that you can get inspired with. If you like board games, take a look at the options which exist in your country. All of them are about the ecology, the environment, and they are translated into your languages. So the adults really love board games, and board games have their own audience. So the quiz Echo quiz can be organized beautifully. You can see informal conditions and locations. People are sharing their opinions on the environmental problems. They get acquainted and they spend time with great positivity. On the one hand, this is something intellectual. On the other hand, it could be easy and simple. The second format is it combines other formats as well. So we ecologize the environment where we are. And besides us, there are other people. So, for example, we could green our office. Or let's say we are gathering the batteries for recycling in the yard of our home or apartment building, or we have special memo about environmental awareness, or maybe we created our own Eco Expo and we allocated it somewhere. In these cases, we don't have to gather lots of people, we don't have to entertain them. We are doing very powerful activity linked to infrastructure and the capabilities to live an environmentally friendly life. Let's say you have organized the meeting, the expo, you have memos, save on electricity, save the water, so you have special container for plastic caps for recycling, etc. Don't forget to tell about it to other people. So if you do not want to speak about it in the format of the event, you can have various notifications, various messages sent automatically. You can have some poster made. Just disseminate the information on social media. This should be sufficient. What should it look like? First example, the navigation, the environment, the design. Sometimes people have to have those reminders to perform environmental action. So our task is to have people apply their environmental habits in their lives. Sometimes it's not the campaign which influences this, it's just a little memo, a reminder by the light switch, etc. So these things, when the eye catches them, are going in the frontal cortex, and this is the subconscious which influences their activity in the future. So you shouldn't underestimate this important format when you are making the environment around people and the target audience more eco-friendly. It always works. Another example, exhibition. A large exhibition, an art facility, art location. We had this project on Soberato, so you can see the descriptions code by code. So let's say we have this art location and we made it together with our team, but lots of people have seen it, thousands of people have seen it. They've got some attention drawn to it, they have some inspiration, they came to read about it, and they find out why it actually stands in some particular location. This is a wonderful tool for enlightenment and education. This is the native contact which stays in the mind of a person. This could be an exhibition, so you can just put it somewhere, people just walk by it, you move it to another location, etc. It works perfectly well. Moving on, the last example. Let's say we decided to collect something in our environment. You want to gather some things, let's say, and you have the container or something, and this container stays for a month there and you just send it to some foundation that you've agreed upon. These could be the plastic caps or any other recyclable items. So these could be the things which go across various locations. This is a bit more complicated because it takes attention, so you have to be attentive to things which are happening. So, and you need to ask people not to make errors and mistakes that they reiterate. You have to deliver it to some location. This is all about the resources. We have to keep it in mind. But once again, even if we have one container to collect the batteries, it attracts attention. People come, they find out that the batteries could be recycled, and it happens here and now. So although it would seem that in this particular moment you don't have any room, any location by this box, and it already supports our ideas and goals of ecological education, environmental education. So, we are drawing closer to the end of my speech, and I would like to inspire you. I would like to remind you that we haven't answered one question. What result should I get at the end of this event? This is something to think of. Maybe you are concerned about amount of people, and it's important for you to have the whole team, all of your friends, and this is your main task. Then you will go to the personal invitations, you will start using them, you will have the thought-through announcements. These could be your goals. Or maybe you just want people to have some fun, to have good time. This is a great task as well. Maybe you have a more long-term goal. You find people and you find volunteers for your projects for this. So this could be basically something which is important to you. You just have to know what you want, and you will not burn out, and the result that you will receive is going to be satisfactory to you. And this is our main task, for us to be satisfied with our results. Then we will be motivated to multiply the results and develop them. This is not that simple, of course. You cannot do it right away from clean slate. Some events can go wrong, some will not, but we are ready for that. We are confident that the energy that we spent to gather people, to have some activities with them, to entertain them, to tell them something, all of this energy is going to come back to us, and it's going to energize us to host the same events. So this is the system that we are going for, the result that we have to come to. Then everything is working out fine. Thank you. Right now, we could answer some of your questions. I'm very interested in doing that. I can see the questions pop up in the chat, and I can see that there are comments as well. So let somebody read them out loud for us to answer them. Microphone, please. Yes, I can see flowers and hearts addressed to you. Lots of questions as well in different languages. I'm not confident that all of them are questions. I think some of them are answers to your question. So what challenges have happened and occurred? Resources, yes, when you lacked resources, when the motivation was not there, when the information was not sufficient. I think that this is most common error. Dear friends, please write the questions to Nastya in the chat on how to organize the environmental events, how to organize them indoors, when you do not have access to your favorite formats of cleanups and planting. But once again, lots of things could be done. So, while our guests are thinking, I have a question. Maybe the answer is in the presentation itself, because you drew special attention to one format only, and which format is most favored by you. So it's not about the cleanups, not about the planting, etc. So things about the education. I have a fast answer, yes. It's interesting that people actually fail to perform on throughout various formats, etc. I think we need to read out loud some of those things, and it's going to be useful for us as organizers as well. To answer your question, I wouldn't come up with various things. So I like flops and sharings because they affect the motivation of people. So on the one hand, it's cool. You just come together, you swap, you share. People just take somebody else's things with them. So this is not about the expenses or anything, but the experience is unique. You will remember this event. Your event will be remembered by others. I like the fact that you can share anything. Cosmetics, so there are girl parties, so when you just have to swap something, so you exchange some things, etc. So it works very good. I like this opportunity to exchange things between people because this is the guarantee of receiving various impressions to take home, and they remember where they got those impressions. Thank you. I would like to share my experience as well. So the girl parties, for example, when the girls are delivering various cosmetics, accessories, etc. So those are good ways to entertain and to unite people. This is very warm and it updates your wardrobe without any additional expenses, which is very good. I would like to highlight the importance of this format. We have a question here. Can we organize such an event if we don't have too many people? So it's not about organizers, so not to swap things among 50 people, 150 people, but to swap things among 5 people. Yes, 5 people is actually optimum, less than 5. So it makes worse group dynamics. But 5 plus is creating additional processes in any team. This is a good thing. And I would like to say that yes, any event, not only the swap or exchange, anything starting with 5 people is an already made up event. So basically, we can go back to our challenge. I'm trying to land this, put it on back to Earth, to transfer this experience to our ground, because lots of people are going to do it for the first time. I would like to organize an event on sensible consumption, sensible application of things. I'm gathering my friends, my relatives, and I say, let's swap, I don't know, seasonal clothes, or maybe your favorite games or board games or the books. I create a special list, which should be limited. I mean, we are not exchanging the iron to a coat, right? Or is it possible? Yes, you should make some rules, especially if you don't have enough space, if you cannot store these things properly. We had a very big event, a lot of space. We would exchange the irons to the coats, etc. So what should there be actually when we are talking about it with our family, with our friends? Let's do this, let's do that. So it shouldn't be like, let's go do this and do that. But you should organize, let's say, let's gather people for environmental party. So, and we will be drinking champagne, and you just exchange those things in the background. So here is the lecture, here you can change things, etc. So this is a party after all. Or let's go to the park for a walk, not just to remove the garbage beyond that bridge, etc. So let's go there, we will watch the water, and we will also remove some garbage. So this could be an approach. It's important for people to have some rest, to get impressions, to get distracted, to have dialogue with others. So this should be the focus, and around it goes everything else. So basically, we swapped things which was attracting the attention. The swap is the heart of the event, and around it there would be some masterclasses, some lectures, but initially they come for some specific reason, or they give things, their own things, for charity. They just come, and you yourself just tell them about ways of living an environmentally friendly life. So this all starts here. Great. We had another question. Can we swap between people, but also organizations? You go to some location, let's say, and the colleagues from there are coming to you. This is basically swapping the experience. Wow, experience, yes. Impressions. That's an interesting question indeed. I think that this leaves some space for creativity. There is something to think of. Maybe you can come up with some mechanics. In the middle of it all, you will have some offline event, but it's not going to be about things. It could be environmental excursion or volunteering in the dog shelter, animal shelter. This could be a great idea. You could actually take your colleagues or your friends to some hiking trip. You can watch the birds there, you can tell about how they could interact with environments more correctly when we are on the road. You could tell about environmental tourism. This would be a great thing, and it's going to be an educational event with lots of impressions in particular. Thank you very much, Nastya. Okay, you're welcome. That is a great suggestion indeed, and I know that there is such a format, and we are just looking at some narrow formats for exchange. There are also very popular formats, and we mentioned it. So the book turnover, when people bring books, they just take their favorite books, they take something for the reading. It's becoming less popular among the youth, but the older generation really like that kind of sharing. If you organize the book sharing and besides it would be something else. I actually liked this format of movies screening with the discussion, because this is as simple as it goes. You just pick a good movie, you watch it yourself, you share it with your friends, with the close ones, or with a bigger audience if you have access to it. So this could be a masterpiece, a feature film, a documentary film, or whatever. And most likely, some tasty things will be delivered. You will be eating something and you would discuss the ideas, the impressions which come to you. Even the WALL-E cartoon animated film. So this is another step for changing your habits and the world for the better. I'm really grateful to you, Nastya. Thank you for the hints that you have given to our participants. I hope that this would be something useful, because next week we will have special task The challenge continues, and for those who is not participating yet, I would like to remind you that you can fill in the registration form. You will be added to our chat. You will join the action, so you can see the chat in our Zoom meeting. So the link is there. Just get registered. Everything is rather simple. You will get your instructions, how to participate, how to organize the cleanup day, how to organize the swap or movie screening or any other format of environmental event, and please act. And this is a wonderful note to finish our meeting. See you next time with new great experts. The recording of this meeting will be online on all the social media of EcoPulse. It will be in the chat where we invite you to join. And if you haven't asked some question to Anastasia, you can send the question to us and we will forward it to Nastya. And we will get the answer from her. Thank you once again. I know that we are in different time zones, so have a good day, have a good morning, have a good night, and have a good evening. See you next time. Bye. Thank you.